Hey there, welcome back. We're Mike and Karen, your hosts for today's deep dive into the world of hotel management.
Today, we're digging into another common pitfall for hotels, pulling insights from Arun Kumar Raman's fantastic blog series, 50 Mistakes, Why Most Hotels Fail and How You Can Succeed.
That's right. Specifically, we're looking at mistake number 39 today, the lack of multilingual support. It sounds simple, maybe, but Arun really highlights how damaging this can be, especially for hotels in India looking to attract international guests.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Imagine you've poured just immense effort into your hotel, right? The architecture, it's stunning, the rooms are luxurious, service standards are impeccable. You think you've covered every possible comfort, every aesthetic detail.
You've really gone all out.
Exactly. Now picture this. An international guest arrives. Someone you've actively marketed to, someone dreaming of experiencing the unique charm and hospitality you offer right here in India.
Yeah.
They walk through your doors, excited, maybe a bit tired from travel, and then they try to ask a simple question at the front desk, maybe about checking in early, or local transport, or even just, where's the nearest coffee shop?
Right, something basic.
And suddenly, despite all your meticulous preparations, you just hit a wall. A communication breakdown.
Ah, yes. The awkward smiles, the gestures, the confusion.
Zonal confusion.
It's a scenario that plays out far too often, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's painful just picturing it because, like you said, you've done so much right up to that point. You've attracted them, you've impressed them visually, but then at that fundamental level of human connection, just being able to understand and be understood,
Yeah.
there's a complete disconnect.
Yeah.
It's not just awkward, it feels like a failure, really. A failure at the very core of what hospitality should be about.
Absolutely. It's like building this magnificent bridge, but forgetting to put the pathway across it,
Great analogy.
All that effort to get people to the bridge, and they can't even cross. And that fundamental breakdown, that lack of pathway, is precisely what Arun points out in Mistake 39 and what we're diving into today.
Right. We're exploring these insights drawn from his analysis of common pitfalls, specifically focusing on this critical absence of adequate multilingual support.
It really hammers home why neglecting language isn't just some minor oversight, but a significant barrier to success and, frankly, genuine hospitality, especially here in India, where the world truly converges.
Yeah, and our goal for this deep dive is to get past the obvious, okay, language barriers are inconvenient, and really understand the real depth of this problem. We need to explore exactly why ignoring language support hurts a hotel so much more profoundly than many operators might realize. We'll detail the costs involved, tangible and intangible.
And critically, we want to pull out those practical, actionable steps Arun outlines in the blog post. Steps any hotel, big or small, budget or luxury, can actually take.
Exactly. Steps to make sure every single guest, no matter where they're from or what language they speak, feels genuinely seen, deeply understood, and truly welcome.
It's not about expecting everyone to suddenly become a polyglot, right?
Not at all. It's about intentional effort towards connection. And that connection, as Arun stresses, is just foundational to thriving in today's global hospitality market.
Okay, so let's dig into the core problem first, that tangible pain of a lost connection. The source, Arun's blog, paints this really relatable picture.
Yeah.
A guest from Germany arrives at a, let's say, beautiful hotel or resort down in Kerala.
Okay. Lovely setting. Lush surroundings, warm climate, friendly faces.
Right. But when this guest tries to ask about something seemingly simple, like, say, exploring the local food options on the menu, or maybe understanding ingredients because of allergies or dietary needs.
Or maybe just asking about cultural nuances around dining, yeah.
Communication just falters.
Yeah.
The staff may be highly skilled in service, but their language skills are mainly local, perhaps some basic English, which this German guest isn't fluent in. They can only respond with polite, but ultimately pretty unhelpful smiles, nods, maybe some confused gestures.
They want to assist, you can see it, but the tools for understanding just aren't there. Maybe they start pointing at random things on the menu.
Exactly, leading to more confusion. What should be a simple, helpful interaction just becomes this frustrating pantomime.
Yeah, no real communication is happening.
None. The guest isn't getting clarity on their actual questions, their needs, their curiosities, maybe even their safety concerns related to food.
And they're certainly not feeling comfortable or understood or truly cared for in that key moment. They're just trying to navigate a basic part of their stay and finding it surprisingly difficult.
And the consequence of that struggle, as the source starkly points out, it's far more significant than just a moment of awkwardness.
Oh, absolutely. That guest feels, maybe for the first time since arriving, fundamentally lost. There's a sense of isolation that creeps in when you can't communicate your basic needs or engage properly.
Yeah, disconnected. Despite the beautiful surroundings, they feel disconnected from the experience.
And the critical, devastating outcome Arun highlights, they mentally flag that hotel. Or maybe even say it out loud later, I will never go back there. That one moment of communication failure can override potentially everything else that went right.
It really boils down to this simple, almost brutal formula the source lays out, but one that's often overlooked in practice, isn't it?
What's that?
No multilingual support equals no genuine connection, which inevitably leads to no repeat guests.
Wow. Stark, but yeah.
It highlights this fundamental truth about hospitality. It is, at its core, a human interaction business. It's about making someone feel welcomed, safe, understood, cared for on a personal level.
And language isn't just a utility for information, is it? It's the primary vehicle, the most powerful one we have for facilitating that deep human connection.
Exactly. Without it, even the most luxurious property can feel impersonal, unwelcoming on this subtle yet critical level.
And the significance of this right now in India, it cannot be overstated. India is seeing tremendous growth in international tourism. We're getting travelers from such a diverse range of countries, speaking so many languages.
Not just the traditional markets anymore.
No, emerging ones too. Hotels across India have this huge opportunity to tap into and cultivate this really valuable segment.
But as Arun's material emphasizes, a fundamental communication barrier can just completely neutralize all the other efforts, all the investments made to attract these guests.
You could offer unparalleled amenities, amazing food, unique cultural experiences.
Yeah.
But if a guest feels alienated every time they try to ask a simple question, the whole experience is fundamentally compromised.
You've drawn them in, but you can't hold on to them.
Precisely.
It's often the weakest link in the chain and probably the first one tested when they arrive. And this lack of meaningful connection, it doesn't just impact that one guest who vows not to return, does it?
No, no. The cost of this mistake, as Arun details, it amplifies across the entire business. It hits profitability, it hits reputation in significant ways that many hotels might not even fully attribute back to language barriers.
Right. They might blame something else.
Exactly. Viewing language support as optional or, a secondary concern, it's a critical misjudgment.
Yeah.
The cost is extensive and damages multiple facets of the hotel's operation and its future prospects.
Okay, let's detail some of these costs, pulling directly from the points highlighted in the source material. First off, the guest experience drops instantly, significantly.
Yeah, think about arrival. The check-in process, it should be smooth, welcoming, informative.
The first impression.
Totally. If a guest struggles to understand the staff, or the staff struggles to understand the guest's questions about their booking, room preferences, maybe hotel facilities, that initial interaction, the one that sets the tone for the whole stay, it's immediately tainted by anxiety, frustration, confusion.
Starts the whole relationship off on the wrong foot.
Exactly. And that negative impression or any later moments of communication failure, they directly contribute to poor online reviews.
Oh yeah, the dreaded reviews.
In today's digital world, platforms like Google Reviews, TripAdvisor, booking site feedback, even social media comments, they're the primary source of info for future guests, right?
Yeah.
So, negative feedback, specifically mentioning communication issues. Staff couldn't understand my simple question, felt lost trying to order food, had trouble explaining a problem in the room. That stuff is incredibly damaging.
It's like free negative advertising.
Totally. Widely visible negative advertising that actively discourages future bookings.
Yeah.
It erodes trust before potential guest even thinks about staying with you.
And the impact goes even deeper, doesn't it? Touching on basic human needs, the source points out that guests who can't communicate effectively often don't feel truly safe or welcome.
Yeah, that's a big one. Imagine being in a foreign country, maybe unfamiliar with the culture, maybe dealing with jet lag or feeling a bit unwell.
Right.
And you need to ask about a health concern or clarify a really critical dietary restriction. We'll get more into that. Or even just ask for help late at night because you feel unsafe for some reason.
If you can't articulate that need or you don't feel confident the staff understands you.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
It moves beyond just discomfort. It impacts a guest's fundamental feelings of security, vulnerability, belonging. That feeling sticks with them long after they check out.
And it also creates a significant toll on the staff, right?
Absolutely. They generally enter the service industry wanting to be helpful, wanting to provide excellent service, make guests happy.
Sure.
When they're faced with a language barrier they can't overcome, they feel helpless, frustrated, sometimes even embarrassed. They want to solve the guest's problem, but the tools just aren't there.
So that leads to guest disappointment.
And it can really negatively impact staff, morale, motivation. Their job satisfaction, too, becomes this negative feedback loop affecting everyone involved.
And bringing it back to the bottom line, the core business objective. All these issues culminate in losing out on repeat international bookings.
Definitely. And worse, losing out on potential positive word-of-mouth referrals, which are gold.
Why would a guest choose to return to a hotel where they felt misunderstood or frustrated or just unable to communicate their needs effectively?
Exactly. Hospitality is built on relationships, and communication is the absolute bedrock of building any relationship. Losing a returning guest isn't just losing one booking, it's potentially losing multiple future stays and all the valuable marketing they might have done by recommending your hotel to friends, family, colleagues.
So the summary of the costs, as Arun puts it in the blog, it's blunt but accurate. You scare away the very guests you're trying to impress.
Ouch, yeah. All the investment, all the effort in marketing, in curating the perfect experience, it can all be undermined because a basic need for connection through language wasn't adequately addressed.
It's a costly mistake hidden in plain sight.
Definitely.
And this isn't just theoretical, is it? The source material, Arun's post, drives this point home with a specific, detailed story, an anecdote about a resort in Jaipur hosting Italian guests.
Yes, this story is quite telling. It serves as a really clear case study of how these costs actually play out in a real-world scenario.
So this resort, clearly targeting international travelers, specifically Italians in this case, probably anticipating good revenue, hoping to build a reputation in that market.
Right, a specific strategy.
But the crucial failure here was the management's reliance only on English as the assumed common language.
Which is a gamble.
Yeah.
While English is widely spoken in travel, it's definitely not universally fluent.
Yeah.
And many travelers, especially on vacation, prefer to relax and communicate in their native tongue if possible.
Absolutely. And as the story highlights, these Italian guests struggled significantly with English.
And the resort had made absolutely no contingency plans for this. Zero.
Like no Italian language menus, which is fundamental for dining.
Nope. No guides or information pamphlets in Italian about the resort's facilities or local attractions. Crucially, no translator available, not even on call, to help with more complex interactions.
The basic tools to bridge that language gap for this specific group were just entirely absent.
Missing.
And the story provides this perfect, really poignant example of the problem with a seemingly simple query. The Italian guests were trying to ask, can I get a Jane veg option?
Okay, yeah. For a guest, that's not minor. That's a critical dietary need, often linked to religious practice, personal health.
Exactly. Failing to accommodate this isn't just inconvenient, it can be a health risk and deeply offensive culturally or religiously.
Absolutely. So in this scenario with no Italian speakers or translation aids, that vital, simple question turned into frustrating, potentially health-impacting miscommunication.
The staff couldn't understand the specific dietary requirement, the nuance of Jane veg versus maybe standard vegetarian.
And the guests couldn't explain it clearly in English. This wasn't just a misunderstanding about directions. It directly impacted their ability to eat safely and feel confident about their well-being at the resort.
It's such a clear demonstration of how language barriers compromise guest health perception, safety, and their fundamental trust in the place they're staying.
Yeah, it really hits home. The outcome, predictably and sadly, mirrored the costs we just discussed.
Right. The source says this resort, which thought it was operating on a global standard, was actually delivering confusion and frustration.
Online reviews from these guests, and likely others facing similar issues, reflected the poor communication. Their reputations suffered.
The Italian guests, understandably, didn't return.
Why would they? And the staff were left feeling helpless, watching guests be dissatisfied but unable to effectively address it because of the language limitation.
It's such a powerful illustration. It really shows that relying solely on one language, even a widely used one like English, is a significant risk when your target market is globally diverse.
It wasn't just a minor hiccup for them. It was a fundamental operational failure. It sabotaged the guest experience and the resort's business goals for attracting and keeping international visitors.
So the problem and its costs are abundantly clear from Arun's analysis. But the source material, thankfully, doesn't just stop at highlighting the mistake.
No, it pivots. It offers a range of practical, achievable steps hotels can implement to transform guest engagement, specifically through better language support.
This is where the opportunity truly lies, right? In being proactive.
Exactly. The emphasis shifts from just identifying the error to providing concrete solutions.
Yeah.
And these steps, importantly, are presented not as expensive, complex overhauls, but as intentional changes in practice and resource use.
Things you can actually do.
Yes, they're about transforming the guest experience from potentially isolating to genuinely connective and welcoming.
Okay, let's break down these actionable steps from the source. The first suggestion is quite straightforward, but sounds highly impactful. Train a small number of staff members, say 1 or 2 per key area, like a front desk, restaurant, maybe concierge, in basic phrases in the top foreign languages spoken by your guests. The source mentions French, German, Mandarin as common examples, but the critical point Arun makes is for each hotel to identify their specific, most frequent international visitors and prioritize those languages.
That makes so much sense. And it's incredibly feasible for almost any hotel size, isn't it? You don't need full fluency or professional interpreters across the board.
Right.
Basic greetings, welcome, hello, how can I help you? Common questions, are you checking in? Room number, how's your meal? Need a taxi? Directions, lobby this way. Restaurant, first floor. Simple affirmations, yes. No. Okay.
Even just those can make a monumental difference.
Huge difference. Provide phrase sheets, use language learning apps for staff practice, maybe even hire a local language tutor for a few targeted sessions. It ensures there's a designated point person who can at least initiate basic communication and show immediate effort.
Shows you're trying. And speaking of bridging the gap efficiently, technology offers powerful, often low-cost solutions today. The source strongly recommends using readily available translation tools.
Oh, this is such a game changer. Tools like Google Lens, invaluable for translating written text instantly. Point your phone at a menu, assign a notice, and boom, you get a translation. Empowers guests and staff.
Yeah, I use that sometimes.
Google Translate can handle quick, simple verbal exchanges too. Allows for back-and-forth communication. It might be imperfect, sure, but it's far, far better than complete silence or frustrated gestures.
Definitely.
Hotels could also look into integrating AI-powered chatbots into their websites or apps. They can handle initial customer service queries in multiple languages, providing instant responses 24/7, freeing up human staff for more complex issues.
These technologies are so accessible now and provide a fundamental layer of support almost immediately.
Right. Beyond digital tools, though, providing tangible multilingual resources is also crucial. The source highlights the importance of having brochures, or critically, food menus available in multiple languages.
Yes. Keep them prominently displayed at the front desk. Have copies readily available in guest rooms.
Absolutely. This lets guests access key information at their own pace without needing staff help for every little thing. A guest can look at a menu in their language, figure out what they want before calling a waiter.
Or read about hotel facilities or local info in a format they're comfortable with. It reduces friction points, enhances their independence and confidence.
Totally. And extending that presence to the digital realm is non-negotiable today, as Arun points out. Your hotel's website is usually the very first interaction a potential international guest has.
So adding obvious language options, often those little flag icons allowing guests to browse the site in their preferred language, is essential.
It immediately signals, we welcome international guests, we're prepared for you. Builds trust and comfort even before they arrive. A website only in English or only one local language can be a huge barrier to booking for someone not fluent. Offering multilingual options just expands your reach and starts the welcoming experience right.
Okay, then there's a more advanced but potentially highly effective strategy the source discusses, creating multilingual video walkthroughs.
Yeah, videos are incredibly engaging and easy to understand across language barriers, especially when you combine them with visuals.
So creating short videos in key languages covering frequently asked questions or common tasks.
Exactly. Like demonstrating how to connect to the Wi-Fi, always a popular question.
Yes.
Or how to operate the AC or heating controls, use the in-room safe, or even giving a brief visual tour of the hotel's facilities, pool, gym, restaurant.
That could preempt so many questions and reduce staff workload.
For sure. These videos can be on the hotel website, a YouTube channel linked via QR codes in rooms, or accessible through a hotel app. It provides instant, clear visual instruction in the guest's own language.
And finally, the bonus tip from Arun, which I personally find incredibly simple yet potentially profound in its impact.
What's that one?
Encourage all staff members, not just the designated few, to learn and use basic greetings in, say, the top 5 languages of your most frequent international guests.
Yes. This seems like such a small gesture, doesn't it? But the psychological impact is immense.
Totally. When a guest arrives or walks through the lobby or passes a staff member in the corridor and hears a simple namaste or bonjour or guten tag or ni hao in their own language,
It creates an immediate spark, a spark of connection and recognition.
it says, I see you, I acknowledge you, and I've made this tiny effort just for you.
It makes the guest feel personally welcomed and valued, not just as some nameless traveler, but as an individual whose presence is genuinely appreciated. It's authentic warmth delivered through just a few simple syllables.
And that leads us perfectly into the deeper opportunity this mistake analysis uncovers, doesn't it? The chance to build trust and foster connection that goes way beyond just transactional communication.
Exactly. It's not about striving for perfect linguistic fluency across the entire team.
No.
Arun emphasizes this crucial point beautifully in his blog. Guests do not expect every single staff member to be perfectly fluent in their language. What they absolutely expect and what they deeply appreciate is effort.
Effort.
That willingness to try, to use a translation tool, to point them to a multilingual menu, to greet them in their language that demonstrates a genuine desire to connect and serve them. That effort speaks volumes, far louder than perfect grammar ever could.
And that visible, audible effort, like hearing namaste or any greeting in their own language in an unfamiliar place, it creates an immediate sense of comfort, of belonging.
It really starts to feel like a home away from home, even just for a brief moment. It breaks down that feeling of being a complete outsider.
And that emotional connection, fostered by feeling seen and understood, that's the absolute key, isn't it?
It's the mechanism. It's how you take that first-time international traveler who maybe chose your hotel based on price or location or photos
Right.
and convert them into a loyal, repeat guest. Someone who tells everyone they know of the wonderful experience they had and specifically highlights how welcomed and understood they felt.
And thinking about this not as a cost but as an investment is crucial. As the source implies, implementing multilingual support doesn't necessarily mean hiring expensive full-time translators for every language.
No, it's about smart, targeted training, leveraging accessible technology, preparing simple, effective materials. It's an investment in showing respect for your guests' background and their comfort.
Arun frames it as an investment in respect, which translates into power, actually.
How so?
The power to connect, the power to delight, the power to retain guests, and ultimately an investment in the very future of hospitality.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
It highlights that true hospitality isn't just about the physical stuff, the walls, the bed sheets, the fancy amenities.
Right. It's fundamentally about the culture you cultivate, the depth of connection you foster, and the tangible care you show for your guests as individuals.
And language is absolutely foundational to expressing that care authentically. You can't fake it.
So true. The final call to action from the source, from Arun's blog, really brings it all together. Do not let language stand as a barrier between your incredible hotel and the vast potential international market that's waiting to experience India's hospitality.
The opportunity is global, it's immense, and the most empowering takeaway, I think, is that you don't need to solve every language challenge overnight.
No huge overhaul needed immediately.
Exactly. The most important step, the source insists, is simply to start today. Even if it's just implementing one of these suggestions like training staff in basic greetings or putting Google Translate to use at the front desk, that first intentional step towards linguistic accessibility is everything.
It signifies a shift in mindset, doesn't it? From viewing diverse languages as a problem to be avoided or ignored.
To seeing them as powerful tools for building connection, trust, and ultimately business growth. It's about embracing the diversity of your guests as a strength, not a weakness or a challenge.
So, in wrapping up this deep dive into mistake number 39 from Arun Kumar Raman's series, the message is profoundly clear. Proactive, thoughtful, multilingual support isn't just an operational checkbox or a luxury add-on.
No, it's essential. An essential component of genuine hospitality that directly impacts guest connection, influences those all-important online reviews, and is absolutely critical for securing repeat international business.
It's how you transform potential confusion and frustration into authentic, memorable, welcoming experiences that keep guests coming back for more.
And for you, listening as someone operating in the vibrant, competitive Indian market, where international travelers are actively seeking unique and welcoming experiences, implementing even a few of these steps can be a powerful differentiator.
It helps your hotel stand out, right? As a property that truly understands and values its global guests, making it a preferred choice for that incredibly valuable international segment.
Definitely.
So maybe here's a thought to leave you with. If hospitality is universal, as our source suggests, how might truly and actively embracing language diversity unlock not just deeper guest satisfaction, but potentially entirely new revenue streams or market segments you haven't even imagined yet?
Good question. What opportunities are potentially being missed by not speaking, even just a little, the language of your potential guests?
Or perhaps, think about this, in a world where travel is becoming increasingly automated, more reliant on apps and digital interfaces, where could genuine human-to-human connection facilitated by that simple effort to understand and be understood through language? Where could that become your hotel's most powerful, irreplaceable, and competitive asset?
Something technology can't easily replicate, that human touch.
Exactly. Well, thank you for joining us, Mike and Karen, for this deep dive into the critical importance of multilingual support in hotels, inspired by Arun Kumar Raman's insights.
Yes, thank you. We encourage you to reflect on the ideas shared today about language and connection, and maybe identify that one first step you can take in your own hotel operations, starting today.